All right, so this is the Cheyenne Bryant. I don't know. I think she's a female. I mean, a therapist. I don't think. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've heard that it's not really true, but at least I know she's a maybe a female a coach or something. You know, it's whatever. It's stupid. Or she gives advice to people, and that's what we'll be talking about tonight. Women giving advice to people. I think it's very uh kind of idiotic. She gives relationship advice, and I think that's a dangerous or idiotic thing. But let's check it out.
Make daddy a sandwich.
Make daddy a Sammy.
You pregnant?
Paul's like, did we get an exclusive? No, I took my IUD out about a month ago so that I can be ready to do my thing.
Congrats.
I'm
I
very
What is
love
that?
that.
The eggs?
The IUD is like,
You took the eggs out
no.
and freeze them?
I have one guy that I have
you
dated
should- she's
off and
stuttering now.
on
We
for
got
5
her.
years.
We got her.
We dated for
Yeah.
5 years off and
So
on.
you was his work for 5 years? You been his work? You still his work? Or he your work?
We working together.
So the D is good.
Oh,
Let's keep it. I mean, that's it's like, dude. Let's
he
let's
put on
keep it 100.
his red pajamas and feel like he's supposed to get spicy
This
tonight.
is clear.
There's good men out there that women are not receptive to because their own barriers, issues, and traumas that y'all got to work through.
I don't know if she should be a therapist or a pimp.
Welcome, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Ooh, how about that introduction?
Who, by
Welcome.
the way, is not vitamin D deficient.
Oh,
Okay.
I can tell.
Thank
I
you.
can tell the way you
because
talk.
she's sharp.
Tell by the
tell- I can
right,
tell by
the
the glow. I can
And
tell
the
by
boots.
the glow.
And the boots.
Oh yeah, you probably gonna get some vitamin D tonight.
You know what I mean? I got it before here. That's why I'm
Oh,
here. Good, ready to go.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
anyways, yeah.
I love that. So we're so excited to have you. Like we had to have you. You always spit that real shit, and I love it. So I'm gonna start it right off the bat because I have to get your opinion on something. Okay. So Paul just told me that I was cooked, and he said that all women after 30 are cooked. Period. What are your thoughts on
I
that?
think I've seen that.
You
clip.
see that? Because it's
I've
going
seen that
viral,
clip.
and everyone now is in my DMs telling me I'm cooked. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm 34. I get it. I might be a little cooked, but what do you feel about that?
And Paul, you're what? 47?
Seven.
Right. So which means he no longer a
47 in
Which
shape.
means you no longer a unk, you a
47
papa.
in shape.
That means you a cooked papa.
still-
You're no longer a unk.
Can still dunk.
So what he's doing from a
still
psychological
run a 40.
perspective, is he's self-projecting his papa cooked self on you. Because honey, you're not cooked. But the papas are.
Hello.
See, that's the thing where that is the thing where why women are irrational, and where you are projecting your emotions. You are triggered. You are emotional. Think about it logically. He's not saying cook as a, let's say, human being, right? Cook as, let's say, a woman. No, you are cooked as in the dating market. Please be able to distinguish, okay? You are cooked as in the dating market. You are, how you compare to a woman that is getting older, i.e., technically in the dating market, not as valuable as when she was like 24. She's 34. She was more valuable, right? Had higher value when she was 24. How are you going to compare to a man that is in his late 40s, but he's financially successful? He has the height requirement that a lot of women desire. He has basic attractiveness that a lot of women would desire. So how's he cooked when his value has gone up? Okay? His value has gone up in the dating world. This is why a lot of women are terrible at giving advice. They cannot separate their emotions. They cannot think logically. That is the problem. When men say you're cooked, it's not that you're cooked as a human being. You must be a great woman. You must be a great human being. That doesn't mean you're cooked. It means that in the dating market, your value will get lower. It will get harder for you to attract the men that you want. It will get harder for you to keep the man that you want. That's why you're basically cooked. Okay? Now, I've said this before too. Women of all categories, right? Ugly, pretty, old, young, fat, skinny, whatever, will always have options. The problem isn't that you don't have any options. The problem is the option that you do want, right? The men that you do want will get harder and harder to attract and to keep as you get older.
They are.
Come through.
You are no longer Unk baby. You are a papa status.
All right.
You know
so
what
listen.
papas do, right? They
What do
watch
they do?
grandkids and cook. You cooked. That's all you do.
No, I don't
Yeah.
watch. I don't have no grandkids. So no.
Her, on the other hand, she's still rare marinated meat. That's what that is.
Hello, rare marination.
She ain't
Again, that's the stupidness. This is why, yes, like Pete says, this is the problem of listening to modern women. They are irrational. They cannot distinguish between the dating and just you as a human being, right? The value of you as a woman is different to the value of you as a woman in the dating market. It is different. And women cannot distinguish that. And that is why women are failing. Both single, right? One who's in her, I think, her mid to late 40s, dealing with like situationships. And another one in her mid 30s has no relationship. So really, yes, you're cooked.
ain't even got to cooking yet. She not even nowhere near the grill yet.
Hello. That's why we was matching.
So for now on, for the entirety of this episode, I'm gonna call you Papa Pierce.
I'll take that.
That's what you gonna get, Papa Pierce.
Papa Pierce is comedy.
That's all
I
you
love
get.
that down.
He don't like it. He looking at you like.
All right, let's start. Let me say something.
Go ahead.
Let me say something. So, I'm a chef too, right? So, I prep. Like the night before. Like right now, I'm marinating some steaks and some ribs, whatever. So, when you marinating something, what that mean? It's not ready, right? It's not ready. It's in the refrigerator, right?
It's called preparation.
Okay, I don't want that.
It's called
Something-
preparation.
all right, so I don't want something that's not ready. Okay, now, once you do the marinating, you do the time, you throw it in the oven. Now it's in the oven, right? It's in the oven, it's cooking. I don't want nobody that's cooking. Like, it ain't ready. It's not ready. It's in the oven, right? So now the time go by and years or whatever happen. Pull it out the oven. It's done. It's cooked, right?
He even storytell like a papa. Keep
No,
going.
listen.
going.
I like cooked food.
Okay.
So,
So
me,
she's cooked. You like her?
No.
we good.
What I'm saying is, people looked at this as me dissing women.
Right.
No, it's not a diss to a
I got
woman.
you.
I like cooked
You're
food.
saying you like a woman who's cooked,
Who's ready,
seasoned,
who's seasoned.
who's experienced,
Experience.
who has wisdom.
See, so y'all
Yes,
took it out
who
of
has
context.
wisdom.
But that's
Gotcha.
not what he was
I
saying.
Yes,
the
that's
first
exactly
time.
what. Don't
I
tell me
got
what
you.
I'm saying.
What he's saying is that the meat that's marinated is still marinating and it's
Exactly.
preparing for the opportunity. He's saying a woman who is cooked,
Boom.
been there, done that,
Yeah.
has the wisdom. She has
And that's the thing where, no, I mean, this is the thing where if he was blunt, he should have been more blunt. This is why I find it hard when you talk to women, right? Most men, this is why there can never be a man like Kevin Samuels, because he doesn't give a shit who he's talking about. He will be straight up with you. He's not going to sugarcoat any words. He's not going to try to change the meanings of anything. He's going to be straight up for you. Why would a top tier man want a woman that is cooked? Why? She's been there. She's done. She's already been seasoned. Already experienced. Because if he did, that man would already have a wife and shit like that. That's the thing where no.
the experience, and so he don't have to teach her to marinate. He don't have to put her in the freezer. He ain't got to wait for her ass to come out. He ain't got to put her on the oven and wait for the oven to go. She's ready. She comes already seasoned, ready, and fresh.
But
So
he's
ladies,
cleaning
no,
it
no,
up
let me- no,
because
no,
last
let me-
time
let
I
me
said
talk, let me
that.
talk.
Go ahead.
No, listen.
Go
though.
ahead.
And so I'm cleaning it up.
Clean it
So
up.
I'm like,
Clean it up.
listen, it wasn't a knock.
Okay.
It was a tee up.
Exactly.
Come
And I
on.
was waiting for this episode to
Yeah.
like explain it. To like, dog, this ain't no knock on you being cooked. I like cooked food.
Well, so, baby
Like-
girl, he said you cook. That means you seasoned, you ready, you
I
experienced,
mean,
and you
she
wise.
cooked, you cooked. We like cooked food.
We cooked up in here.
y'all ready to go.
And now Papa is cooking. Now
Right.
you're cooking, baby.
Right.
Now you're cooking.
Papa Beers.
You ready to go? I got my to-go box. I'm gonna throw y'all in that. We going to the
We ready to
crib.
go. I love it.
Okay. Okay. Clean it up.
Like that ain't
I'm
that
not
wasn't
mad at
so
it.
that wasn't a bad thing. Is
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
When people want to talk to me like I'm down and with no, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good thing. So don't take it. And I know in society and how we word things, like, oh yeah, he's saying they washed. Washed is
That's
another
different.
word.
Yeah,
That's
he said
different.
cooked.
I said cooked.
Washed is different.
Washed is different.
Because technically, let me say this because I love what you're saying, Paul. Technically, if a person was to eat that raw uncooked meat,
yeah, you might get sick.
they would become
on.
intoxicated with salmonella.
Come on.
So you don't want nothing that's raw. You need it to be fully cooked. So you can actually have a healthy relationship.
Well, people do eat raw sushi. There are people who can eat raw meat. So
With no intoxication, no dysfunction, and no raw meat that's gonna have your ass sitting in my office, the doctor's office,
Right.
because you ate something that wasn't ready.
Come on. Come
I like
on.
it, Paul.
Sing
why
to
I
the
was-
choir.
That's why I did it. And I was like, oh, they taking this as something that's bad. No, this ain't
And
bad.
it's not.
It's not
It's
bad.
not.
If I say you cook, that means you ready.
So listen, and then young men are willing to wine and dine and prepare
They are.
the table for the cooked meat.
They do.
Trust me. The older men sitting back with papa stands like you with their glass in their hand saying, when you gonna serve daddy? When you gonna serve me?
Make daddy a sandwich.
Make daddy a Sammy. Make me a Sammy.
Make daddy a sandwich.
Look, while she already cooked, he want a sandwich.
Exactly.
Make daddy a
Come on
sandwich.
now. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Like Anthony Mackie said, make daddy
And
a
but let me
sandwich.
answer that because a cooked seasoned woman
We'll make daddy
will
a
make
sandwich.
daddy a sandwich.
Right.
Hold on, and then come back and say, more?
Hello.
Or did you need dessert?
I
What we
need
doing?
dessert.
See, that-
will they? Will they? I mean, you guys have seen my Kendra G reactions. Really? Do these seasoned women, these older women, actually treat men better? Really? Yeah, I think there's a whole lot of crock shit.
That's why you want a cooked woman.
Right.
Because she gonna make the sandwich, she gonna cook a meal and then say, anything else? Hold on, daddy?
Preach.
Anything else?
Come on.
Preach.
Is your,
Speak
is your
it.
glass half empty?
Yep.
We're gonna make it half full.
So
What we
now
need?
I'm glad we had a chance to clear this up, bringing Doc on. Listen, I had to explain that because I got a lot of flack. Cooked is good, girl.
And y'all came for me heavy. Y'all trifling for that.
So you youngins or you oldins or whoever you is,
Oh, this? You papas.
listen, cook is cracking.
Cooked is cracking.
Cooked is cracking.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. So now my next question for you is, I don't know if you've seen this, but Paul said, I'm coming for Paul tonight. Paul said that marriage is for old and poor people. What do you believe? How do you feel about that?
Well,
Hold
y'all.
on. Paul, listen. Paul cooked again. Because, he cooked again. He liked cook because he cooking. Studies show that the poor folks who marry. Now, I come from the hood. I come from very humble beginnings, so I'm going off studies. I have no problem with
Long Beach in the house.
Right, yes. But what I'm saying, studies do show that that marriage is more successful, long-lasting, less stressful, and happy when two people actually have money that provides resources for a great quality of life. He's correct.
Talk to him.
Marriage,
Talk
when
about it.
folks who don't have financial stability, which provides resources for a great quality of life, which in return makes it to where your stress levels are low and you can actually enjoy each other, the divorce rate is much, much higher. Much, much higher. Much higher. So, I mean, in reality, back in the day, marriage was a privilege, and it was only a privilege for the folks who were wealthy. That's just the truth of the matter. Like, folks who were not economically stable didn't have the privilege of being able to be married. And when I look back on it, of course, I think marriage should be available, an option to anyone without discrimination. But if you really look at it, when two people get married who are not ready, we're not even talking about just mental health wise, right, emotional intelligence wise, but economically, they are marrying into a deficit because they are not able to provide each other the full essence of the quality of life that they want in a marriage, even for themselves individually. And I have yet to meet a man, and I say, and I've been in my field 17 years, I have yet to meet a man, no matter how on the lower economic status he was, on the high economic status he was, who did not want to, at some point, be able to provide for his woman. Even if he couldn't, there was something in that man that said, like, at some point, I would love to be able to provide economically for my woman. And when a man can't, it shifts the dynamic in that marriage. And it does put that man in a deficit in many ways. And oftentimes that man doesn't know how to process those emotions, identify how he feels, and say, listen, you know, maybe I am a little disconnected from you. Maybe you do feel that there is some type of barrier between us that I'm unaware of, but, you know, I'm not able to be at my full potential with you. And so it does affect me. And anything that affects that man is going to affect the entire dynamic of that relationship. And if you have kids, then who is getting the short end of the stick? Those babies.
Absolutely.
And so this is why I always say to people, I'm 42 and I'm not married with any kids yet. I'm ready now. But I
Okay, she's in her early 40s. Okay, 42.
wanted to purposely wait till I was educated, until I had my career. I wanted to wait until I was economically stable enough to provide a life for my children and choose a man from not a perfect place, but a healthy place. So that I can say I'm not only choosing a husband.
You know what? You know how that is idiotic. At 42, now you want to get married and have kids. 42, where you have increased the level of danger to your health and your child's health. Because here's the thing: the more likely at 42, you're not necessarily having kids with young men. More than likely, you're having kids with either men your age or probably older. So your egg is not that strong, right? Not that healthy. The man's seed is not that strong, not that healthy. So you think you're producing healthy kids. Now, I'm not saying it's a 100%, because yes, at 42, she could still have kids. But again, it's you have put yourself into a dangerous situation for you and your child. Very dangerous. And this is the stupidity of a lot of women. Great. You have now you have education, you have money. But one, you don't have any stability with a man because you're not in a actual monogamous long-term relationship, right? I mean, I think she's going to say later on maybe like a situationship kind of thing. And God, it's just it's like you're not going to have a kid right away. At 42, you're not having a kid right now. So what? Maybe you have a kid at 40, 43, maybe 44. So it's kind of ridiculous.
But I'm choosing a father for my kids before I even, procreate with this man. A lot of folks who do marriage early are choosing codependently a partner who can satisfy their trauma in that space.
Ooh.
And they trauma bond. And after that trauma's healed or that trauma shifts, those conditions are gone. So guess what's also gone? The bond. Because if the trauma changes, which is what's the glue to the bond, then the bond has to change. So now we say we outgrew each other. No, y'all never were with each other. You were with each other's traumas.
Ooh.
You don't even know this man.
Ooh. Damn.
Wait a minute.
No.
So
Okay, go ahead.
Go for a pause.
At 42, like, who are you growing with at 42? It's like, I don't know. I mean, like, you should have been growing with a man in your 20s. Okay, then you have built years of growing. At 42?
you said sorry.
What is
So you still want to get married and you still want kids?
What's so funny about that?
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like,
what's so
no, I
funny?
just
Yeah,
feel like,
why was you laughing?
no. This is not a knock. This is just like, I feel like when you get older, like, this is the time to enjoy more life. This is not the time to be like, you should be looking to travel the world, like see the world, because we on the back nine. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the back nine.
You are, not me. Papa, you, not me.
I'll take that.
I'm still
on the
auntie.
back. Yeah, you auntie. But I just feel like once the 40s hit, it should be like, man, you know
Yeah, old auntie.
what? That's all good because, like, kids take up a lot of time, and kids will redirect the relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and I just feel like for me, like, this is the thing. I fell in love with what I was in love with the situation, how they were before the kid. And the dynamic of the kid, because you don't have no script for this. When the kid comes, the whole dynamic of the relationship changed now.
Especially for the man. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for the man.
Because now you go, and it's funny because
Changes for everyone. What the fuck are you talking about? It changes for everyone. Dynamic, the relationship changes for the woman as well. I believe equally. if not more. What are you talking about?
I look in public relationships like how a lot of famous like actors or actresses like they divorce within the first year, a few years of
you
having
know why, right?
kids.
Paul, you cook again, I'm about to put your ass back on the grill. What you cooking? Because no,
You
because
know what I'm talking
because
about.
marriages, divorce happens within the first year
Of kids.
of birth.
Yeah.
Within the first year.
Yeah.
That's when divorce happens. And if the folks are not married, that's when separation or breakup happens within the first year of that
And I'll
child.
tell you why too.
Go for it, yeah.
Like, because like you fall in love, you meet a girl or you meet a guy, you fall in love with like, damn, I love that, you know, how we are right now. We travel, it's sex every day and it's glazing in your eyes and we're going here, we're going there, we're going there. So now the pregnancy comes. Those things stop.
Stay there. The pregnancy comes. What does that mean for the man's position in that relationship? Explain that to us
Well,
as a man.
as a man, you fell in love with what made you fell in love with. Like, we going here, we going there. It's
Yeah, the convenience,
spontaneous.
the spontaneity of doing
Yeah,
things, the get up and
yeah,
go, my
yeah.
go-to, my road dog.
My,
Yes.
my man, let's go. Like, wake up, go, boom, do this. And then all that's just stops. And then it's just like, damn, you know, we ain't even doing the same stuff. But like, it changes the whole dynamic. And it's just like, damn, now you get so deep into pregnancy, now the sex stops. And that stops for a minute. Like a minute, and that's what and that the sex ain't what made you fall in love. It's just the whole friendship, all of this, and like you got to go
But
through
the
it.
sex is a part of the expression of love.
Yeah,
Let's keep it real, because
yeah.
when we're talking about casual sex, then sex is an act for pleasure. But when we're talking about relationship, marital sex, where like you're saying we love each other, you know, you might go to my ace boom. That sex is a part of the expression of love now. It satisfies the duality of okay, physically, yeah, we may orgasm, but emotionally and spiritually, right? This is a way for us to be in tune and connect and be in our space and get our vibe and be in ecstasy together and take ourselves like into an outer body experience sexually. If you're doing it in the way that's not casual and you're really plugged into the person, that's the experience. So you get more than a internal orgasm. You get that external orgasm, and now you have a duality of what you're talking about. That connection that fuses people, not just the orgasm.
Agreed.
And in saying that, when that stops for like months, it could be a year. It's
But
like,
I want to ask you this, because you're hitting, I've been in my field 17 years. You're hitting the number one complaints I get from all of my married men who come in session with me. What is the impact of the stopping of the intimacy, which is sex and intimacy, the connection with your woman, I get to have her, available and conveniently for me, for us. I want to know, what are the impacts of that on a man for you?
well, this is what you fell in love with. You fell in love with that. So now that get taken away from you. And then now, not only does that get taken away from you, now from getting 100% of the attention, man, you might go from 100 to now you get 30%, because when the baby comes,
Yeah.
that's like because from a woman, that connection is a different connection
Yeah.
now. When you birth a kid, you birth a kid.
Yeah.
Like that come from that's like it came from your soul. Like now,
And now that woman has to assume a duality of mama and wife.
yeah.
And the man only
That's
has to
hard.
stay in one role. Husband.
The fuck is that you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? No, is the man not the father? Stupid as shit.
Because at the beginning of a child's infancy, with all due respect, they don't need you for survival. They need you for presence and love, of course, but they don't need you for survival, right? They
Yeah,
need mom.
right.
That's what she's.
No, they don't. Like seriously, when my son was born, I was feeding him. I literally bottle feeding him. So no, you don't need, after the woman gives birth, it's like, what the this is why she's unqualified. How are you like a therapist or whatever to anyone? What the fuck are you talking about? Literally, are you kidding me? Even nowadays, women do not have to breastfeed a child. They don't have to. It's not forced. You can bottle feed a child. I was staying up at night bottle feeding my son while my girl was sleeping. Okay? And even some cases I did it at night. I even did it in the day. Because I loved my son. I really, it was an amazing moment for me. So I was changing him, feeding him. I was taking care of him. So let's say, God forbid, something happened to her. I could still take care of my fucking son. So what the hell is women like this talking about?
breastfeeding. And so the man, 100%, Paul, gets pushed out of that dynamic. Totally out of it. And a lot of women who are either fatherless girls or they had father in the home, because I always say you can have a present parent that also presents trauma. So just because a parent is present doesn't mean that it doesn't present trauma. But if you're also a woman in the household who didn't see your mom navigate mommyhood and wifehood and balance that, then that woman doesn't know how to do that. On top of that, she may be experiencing postpartum. And let me go another route that we don't talk about enough. Men also experience postpartum, but we don't talk about it.
What is that?
It's when there is a hormone imbalance, right, from a woman giving birth.
For a man, though.
Oh, for a man. Oh, for a man. Oh, it's well, you know, just like you and your woman are connected.
Yeah.
You're in tune. If me and her are in a house for 60 days, 3 months, our menstrual cycles end up being on the same cycle. You know that, right? Naturally. Did you know that? If women live together for a short period of time, all of our cycles in the house end up being on the same cycle. We will start our period on the same day.
Even if you just hang out with a woman a lot.
100%.
Like I can hang out with a
100%.
homegirl, kick it with her for a few weeks, like a month, and next episode, like my period will shift.
you
Like
go.
it was on the 17th, now it's coming on the 3rd because yours comes on the 3rd.
There you go. So if that happens
Yeah.
amongst women who are just girlfriends, how hormonally connected and intertwined do you think you and your woman are, who, let's just say, is your wife and she's having your child?
Damn, I never thought about that.
And so, you know, women do need care around that time. But I always have an issue with that. And again, I'm gonna disclaim it again. Women need all the care and support and love around birth and postpartum and all of that. However, men get shut out of also experiencing postpartum and being shut out of the family dynamic because now you're the outsider. And there's a new little bundle of joy that I have yet to meet a man who's not overly excited and in love with their child, but they're also trying to navigate, where do I fit in this equation now without me sounding selfish and crazy, right? And telling her, I feel like you're putting the baby before me, because most men don't know how to express that without feeling guilty, because they're going, wait, but she's supposed to mother my child.
Yeah.
And I want my child to not go without this
Yeah.
experience. And I don't want to take the experience from my wife. So then the man ends up being in a position of having to process all that shit on his own, or with his boys, or I'm going to go there with his side chick. And I'm just keeping it real, because those are all real dynamics. Where a man then ends up stepping out. I'm not condoning it. I'm just speaking what really happens a lot of times. They end up stepping out to get what they believe, or not even believe, their experiences missing, that they're the deficit. To feel that deficit, it doesn't make it right, but we're talking about the reality of what happens. And then what happens with the woman? She's left at.
Now, here's my personal take with the whole children thing. I do believe that men in particular, we do need to talk about. A lot of men don't realize what it's like when you have kids. So I always believe this is why it's so important for men to have good fathers. It's so important for men to have good role models. Because here's the thing where a lot of men don't realize. One, communication is the key. Communication is so important. You need to talk to your woman, your wife, your girl, about what you're thinking. What's your thoughts once having the child, once after. I mean, like the how you see the landscape of your relationship. Once having a child. A lot of us don't talk about it. A lot of us don't plan it out. Don't look at the landscape, what it could be, how it should be, how you want it to be. And we don't do that, right? Because this is the thing where you should think priorities. Your relationship should be a priority. You should understand the responsibilities that come with being a father. What it takes to be a father, what it takes to be a good father. This is the thing where a lot of men, we don't think about what it's like to be a father. We don't think about what the responsibilities to be a father. We don't think about the duty, the amount of effort it is to be a father. And we make it very lightly. So I'm a big supporter of men really evaluating what it's like to be a father, what comes with being a father. Because I hate this shit. Or I really hate shitty fathers. I really do. I am immensely against it. If you will be a shitty father, do not fucking be a father. Wear a fucking condom. Make your girl be on birth controls. Use Plan B, because you should not be a shitty father. Okay? And then make children. You should not. I'm 100%, I hate that shit. I really do. So it is not talked enough about what comes with being a father, the responsibilities, the effort of coming with being a father. We need to talk about that more. And this is a thing where, again, more men need role models, more men need good fathers. Because shit like that should be talked about between men. And another thing is that, again, to help your relationship, you need to talk to your woman what you expect, what you want the relationship should still be like, right? After the child. So we don't, communication is so important. And I believe more men should develop that skill. Learn to communicate. Communicate your feelings or communicate your thoughts. Communicate your thoughts.
Home to be a single mama in a house where she has a family.
Ooh.
So she don't have a broken home because everybody in the house. But guess what? She got a broken family because that house is impaired.
Damn. But you know, like as a woman myself who doesn't have children, hearing things like this does not motivate me to want to have kids.
discourages you.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm cool. Like, I'll just be with my man. We could hit it. We could travel. Like, hearing this, it's like, damn. Like, of course I'm a nurturing woman. I have a motherly instinct. And I've always felt like, okay, I could be a mom and I want to be a mom. But as I get older and I view these different relationships and I see how it makes the relationship so strained and they're so stressed out. Like, I don't know one relationship that did not go through that and is not strained because of that. So it just doesn't motivate me to want to do
with
that.
the right tools, right? And that's why I say therapy and life coaching, that should be a lifestyle.
For sure.
As a preventative measure, not an
For sure.
intervention, right? But to Paul's point in question about being 42 and wanting to be married and me wanting to wait till I was of age is exactly what you said.
Yeah.
With time, you get wisdom. And with seeing things and allowing
The bad part is for women, in my particular opinion, and I'm not saying all women, but I believe a lot, they don't gain wisdom. Women don't gain wisdom with age. They don't learn. Women do not learn from experiences. Personal opinion. Women's judgment, women's, opinions is based on their emotions, not based on logic, not based on learning from experiences.
other people's experiences to expose you to things that help you to have
Yeah.
better decision-making skills.
Yeah.
It saves you a lot of the bullshit that people are going through in their 20s and 30s when they're married young.
True.
You have kids, right?
Yes.
And can I ask how many?
Yeah, I have 4 kids.
4 kids. Okay, by one woman, just
2.
Okay, so you're not with them. I'm guessing. Okay, so I'm not saying had you did it now, you would still be with them, but I know for sure had you did it now, you would one have done it differently, or you would have figured out how to do it in a way where you can actually have a family with whoever you're doing it with. That comes with wisdom at the age of your age 47. But at 23 or 30, whether you were thinking family or not, more than likely not.
No, I was thinking family when I happened.
Okay.
I was 30 when I started.
Did you get married to either one of them?
Yeah, I did.
You married both of them?
No, the first.
The first, but not the second. Okay, right. So at 47, you don't meet too many men who are procreating with or before marriage. Usually they're in the mindset you just said, I'm 47, I want to travel the world, right? I'm more responsible now because of my irresponsibilities, because experience teaches, words don't. So through your experiences, you learn what to do and what not to do. So men and women become better with age because of their experience. Experience gives you wisdom. Words do not, because they don't teach. So for me as a woman of age, I always want to make sure that I was having my kids in equity, not a deficit, because of my own inability to make good decisions on behalf of them. So at 23 or 30 years old, or maybe even 35, my decision-making may have chose a situation that puts my kids in a deficit. Now, your children.
But here's the thing where the problem with that mindset, okay? Yes, I do agree that technically, right, or it should be, as you get older, you should be learning from experiences. You should be gaining wisdom. The problem is, well, as women get older, having kids is harder to almost not recommend it. Now, for men, as they get older, yes, it's not like men are top tier, even they're getting older. But the logic is men will date younger. And men are the ones who, because they gain that experience, they gain that wisdom, men are the ones who lead. Men lead, women follow, right? Because men have gained that wisdom while women honestly haven't gained the wisdom. And that's why they follow men's leadership. I believe that works more often than not. Because here's the thing, waiting for both parties to gain that wisdom and then start something, it is not the best, the most optimal situation. Okay? It is not the most optimal situation, and it's not the most optimal for a family. Okay? Both old parents is not the best thing.
Are blessings, no matter how you look at it. They just are. But they were still born in a deficit because they didn't get the experience of a full household and a full present father. Even if you were on the road playing ball, that's different, knowing that daddy's out there getting it for our household than it is to say he has kids with another woman. So that could possibly why he can't be here with us in this time or can't be present all the time. Doesn't mean that the kids are doomed. We're just talking about the deficit of something as small as a decision causes.
Mm-hmm.
And as
Yeah,
we
most-
choose, but as we become better, we date better, we choose better, we marry better, and guess what we do? We parent better. And if people take their time, then they can really avoid doing time.
Now, what do you say to the women that feel like, okay, I'm on this time clock? Because I know a lot of people, including some of my own family members, that have gotten pregnant and they were like, you know what, girl, I'm 30 something, I'm just gonna have it. Like, even if they're married, they're not, I don't feel that it's like you're so happy or anything, but you're like, hey, I'm this age, I'm just gonna have this child now because it's what I should be doing. Or you feel like you're on this biological time clock where you're like, okay, oh my God, I'm nervous. I'm getting of age to where I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Am I gonna be able to have children, you know? And I feel like women have that pressure. And another thing is, I feel like women have the pressure of, you know, a lot of the times, even for me, when I've been podcasting or I've been out in the world, it's like, why are you single then? As if it's like, you're not shit
And so
because
it-
you're
it
single. Or,
devalues you
yeah,
or
it
something.
devalues you. Like, why are you single? Well, maybe I'm single because I know myself, my standards, and what I actually want. So I'm not settling for anything because a lot of people I know are doing just that.
Yeah.
But what do you say to women who feel that pressure? You know, because you're very confident, 42, you're like, I can have kids, I'm gonna get
yeah.
married. And I love
And I
that
will,
energy. Yeah, and I believe it. And I love that energy, but I feel like so many women are in fear and they operate out.
It is a stupid thing. Do not push your fucking own situation onto other people. Because what you're doing isn't optimal. What you're doing isn't optimal. Right? What you're doing isn't optimal. If women want to do right, have kids earlier. Follow a man's lead. Follow a good man's lead. A man that's smart, a man that has wisdom, a man that has shown a life, right? Where he is intelligent, he is emotionally intelligent, he has shown wisdom. This is why, in my personal opinion, it makes a bit more sense to date a man a bit older. Okay? That's why it makes more sense. But I'm not just saying just date any man, okay? But date a man that has shown his wisdom, his intelligence, his emotional intelligence, his ability to provide, his ability to protect, right? Has shown a man that has a life of examples to show. Because then, like, it's such a risky advice to say, wait, you know, gain those experiences and wait until you're, you know, in your mid to, you know, your early to mid 40s to now start something. Absolutely stupid. This is why a lot of people are marrying later and a lot of people are having less kids. At best, this woman can have one kid. At best, she can have one kid.
Out of this fear, and if you can say anything to help them, like that would
they're
be amazing.
operating out of lack.
Yeah,
I would say,
exactly.
where's your faith at? Faith is an action word, right? And so for me, I always use Abraham and Sarah in the Bible. God doesn't, you know, he keeps his promises. He says no request returns void.
Ooh.
Okay? And so Sarah and Abraham made a request for a child. They were up in their 80s. And Sarah got impatient. And she told Abraham, get the maid pregnant.
Hold on. You said they was in their 80s? Both of them?
Yeah,
It's in the Bible. Look
Yeah,
it up.
Bible story. I know
So
this
Sarah,
story.
but this is why faith is an action word. Sarah told Abraham, listen, it ain't gonna happen. Get the maid pregnant. He got the maid pregnant. As soon as he got the maid pregnant,
she was
Sarah
Sarah's
ended up
pregnant. Yeah,
So Sarah tells Abraham, guess what? I'm pregnant now, bruh. Maid, I gotta go. So Abraham, being the good husband that he was, because remember, he's been hearkening onto her voice the whole time. He didn't cheat. She gave him permission to do this. He tells the maid she gotta go. God talks to the maid in the desert and says, listen, you don't know who you're pregnant with. Go back. The maid's like, I can't go back. Go back. She comes back. Sarah has her baby. Guess what's in that household? Nothing but conflict. Nothing but conflict. What is my point? My point is I'm not Sarah. I understand that my request ain't returned void.
Oof.
And I understand, like the Bible says, be anxious for nothing and make your request be known to God. I'm not anxious about when a child or husband is coming. I don't want anything that's not mine. And I say this, Paul, with no pun intended, when we take things that aren't ours, it comes with the expiration date, just like those two beautiful mothers of your kids, expiration date. But you still have the kids you have to father. I don't want that situation. So I would rather wait for God to deliver what's mine on his time when I am cooked and not still raw meat and not ready. And if that means I got to wait to 43 or 44 or call off another wedding, I am okay with that. My obedience is to God, not people.
Come on.
I don't live in dogma. And so if I
This is why I say women that talk about God are fucking red flags. Women that talk about God is a fucking red flag. Really? It's absolutely, this is a thing where, one of the things that God also promote is for women to follow men's leadership. This ain't a woman that's following any man's leadership. But you want to say things that God said, right? You want to say things that God said.
run around here like Sarah, I will mess up and end up with a man who already got the maid pregnant, which means I don't get an opportunity to have my own family, my own husband. I will have to share him. Why? Because it will be at the expense of my disobedience.
Damn.
It happened really quick with Moses. He freed the Israelites from Egypt. God said, I'll take you to the promised land. But guess what? God kept his promise because he took him to the promised land. When Moses got to the promised land, God said, okay, talk to the rock and I'll have water come out. Talk to the rock. Well, Moses had a temper tantrum, kind of like Sarah, got upset, took his rod and hit the rock twice. Hold on. God still kept his promise because although he told him to talk, not hit, water came out that rock. He took Moses to the promised land. But guess what? Moses and everyone who followed him didn't get in. You know why? Because he was disobedient.
Yep.
So God will always keep his promise and he'll bring you right there. And the moment that you choose not to be obedient after you done went across the red.
Come on now. Now, let me ask you this. Are you okay with a man who already has children? No.
No.
Okay, why
Deal
not?
breaker. Deal breaker.
Deal breaker for you? Why
Because
not?
I want my own family. I
And
want my
you
own
feel like
family.
you cannot have that with a man who already has children.
That is a form of polyamory.
Really? Explain that,
polyamory.
please.
Okay. Polyamory doesn't have to do with us all living in a household together and we're all doing the do. Polyamory is outside relationships that I'm okay with. So if I'm in a relationship with Paul, I have to be okay with him having a relationship with the mothers of his children.
Yeah.
I would hope he does,
Yeah.
right? So although he's not sleeping with him, or we would want to think he's not, let's just
Right.
take him as being a good man. He's just co-parenting and doing it the right way. Well, when Christmas or holidays come around or a birthday party or a wedding or graduation, Paul has every right to spend time with his kids. And if the mother is there, I mean, they procreated together. It's not a crime for her to be in the same room as him. That's what co-parenting is, healthy co-parenting
Right.
is. If I agree to that, I am now, or I should be attempting to be healthy with these women, right? If I'm gonna love him, I love Paul's kids. So now I'm in a polyamory relationship that I'm agreeing to be in because although you're not sleeping with this woman, we all are a family, whether you wanna think of it that way or not. Because if I love this man,
Part-time.
part-time, full-time.
Because, like, it's
polyamory
not-
can be
not-
part-time, full-time. But we
Yeah.
can polyamory from 2 to 5 p.m. It don't matter what the time frame is.
Damn.
It is what it is. So I am not
Wow.
willing to agree to be in a polyamorous relationship because I am a faithful woman.
Damn.
So I'm not going to have a man outside of him to equal out the playing field because technically I'm at a loss. You get to have 2 other families and I get to have you. And what if I don't want to share you on Christmas? I
Or
don't have
any day,
kids.
any
What if
day.
I don't want to share
Yeah.
you on your child's birthday? And I'm not saying that's okay. I'm speaking reality. See, people don't want to speak reality. A lot of I've yet to hear a woman who was with a man, even if she has a kid outside of him. Let's say they both have kids outside of each other, who have not said, if it was just us and our kids, it would be much easier.
Absolutely.
And that's even without having baby mama, baby daddy drama. We're talking about the emotion that comes with it. So if I don't want to share you on Monday, January 3rd, because I'm just in my space where I want you. But Lil Paul has a birthday party. And he needs his father.
Yeah.
And I want to support you. So I love y'all. I take you as a package deal. But I don't have any kids. So guess what? You get me 365 days of the year, unless I'm on my speaking tour, or I'm in session healing a client, or I'm here
Yeah.
on y'all podcast. And you can even come here with me. You still don't got to share me. So what am I saying is it is an unfair.
You still do. This is the thing where I think it's funny with career women. You have to share her with her career. Okay, here's the hypocrisy in it. I don't disagree with what she's saying. I don't. I see I see the logic in what she's saying. So I'll give her credit that I see the logic in what she's saying. I never thought of that, but yeah, I see the logic. But here's the thing where her logic stops to a certain point where she's a career woman. This man is sharing her with her career, right? She's not gonna stop her career for him. No, she's not gonna. Oh, if she has a speaking tour, she's not gonna stop a speaking tour to be with him. This is the thing. Women don't understand. It's like women like this are also difficult to be with. I agree with what she's saying about, sharing kids, wanting the time, the polyamory of. I get that concept. What she's saying. Problem is, it is no different than being with a career woman. You don't have her time 365 days. You don't have her time like that. It's not like you are a priority to her. Logic is because see, this is the thing. Her logic fits to a certain degree, but her logic stops when it applies to her. That's the thing. This is women's logic a lot of times. It stops when it applies to her. Because she could say that, oh, this man, a man that, she doesn't want a man that already has kids because she doesn't want to share his time. Understandable. The problem is that here's a career woman. She's not sharing her time with a man. Her career can't. She's not able. Or a lot of career women wouldn't share their career time with a man. They wouldn't sacrifice their career for a man. So really, your logic stops to that point.
Bargain.
Ooh.
That too many women and men do, because men date women with kids too. And that man may not have kids, and he's also signing up for that. And so as much as people may not want to say it, it definitely creates a wedge between those two people, because this man has
and Mrs. Smith, thank you for stopping by, my brother.
already done the most deepest
Intimate.
thing you can ever do with another
Absolutely.
human, which is what? Procreate.
Create.
See, I can marry you all day long, and you can go do that with anyone else. Once I create a child with you, that is your DNA and my DNA. Where else can you mix us to that depth or that level? Where else can you cleave and woove us into a quilt together? We can't even do that in marriage.
Damn, that's deep.
All right. I got a question. What's your okay? So
Like, damn.
No, because you hit me with some stuff. I'm like, wow.
She said some things, right?
Yeah.
But so now that changes the whole dynamic on who you date.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She's not looking for an older man than her. She's looking for somebody much younger than her. That changes the whole dynamic.
Well,
of
if
who-
he's my age with no kids, he's still.
most men is a red flag your age with no kids.
Someone said that, right? Like, I was dating a man who was
know what I'm
41
saying?
and he had no children. Really great guy. And my sister was like, he's a red flag because he has no children at that age. And I said, is he a red flag or is he smart? Because I'm confused. Is he smart enough not
That's a
to
great question.
procreate with someone that is not really his match or he's in alignment with? Because if he's single now, he probably would have been single with them kids too, still trying to date. So I heard that before. And I was very curious to that because I'm like, he was a really good guy, it just didn't work out. But I was like, I don't see it necessarily as a red flag because it might be a smarter move because I know too many men that are 41, 42 with children and they don't mess with the mother of their children. Or if they do and do whatever on the side, okay. But I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on that.
So, from my personal experience, right?
What can I say? That's what they do.
Not from like clinical speaking or a psychology expert. Men with no kids of age, like y'all are saying, happen to be selfish. There's
yeah, I
nothing
can
they've
see
had
that.
to cover their whole life. There's nothing outside themselves they've had to think about or consider.
So is that a red flag?
A selfish man? I
think so.
No,
That's what
I
I'm saying.
definitely think so.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely think so.
All right.
However, if you get a man of age who does have kids, you would hope that he is a very active father. Him being an active father also comes with him having to be selfish in order to be present with his kids.
Yes.
So there is an aspect that may be a healthy selfishness, where it's like, I may want to eat, sleep, and shit you all day, but I gotta be a father. So there's gonna be a part of me that may look selfish because I gotta put these kids in a priority position somewhere,
For sure.
right? And wherever they go into those spaces, baby, you can't go.
And the kids are before the woman, you would say?
No.
No?
But watch this. So let's just say you and Paul are married and y'all procreate your own little
Yeah.
stinkers. I'm a biblical girl. I'm a Jesus girl. Biblically, the hierarchy goes God, Paul, you, babies.
I told her that.
Babies.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why. Men have the honor of God automatically covering them,
Yeah.
right? Women we marry into our man's covering. So men gets God's covering, we get a double layer of covering, and the kids get triple layer of covering. Why? Because they're kids, they have no insight. They need the double layer of protection. However, love that we're going here. If Paul has you and y'all babies, oh, he got her and her babies. Oh, he got her and her babies. I'm just curious on how in the hell was he covering all 3 women at the same time and all of them kids at the same time? Let me tell you why. Because covering is spiritual, but it's also physical. How are you able to be present and cover everybody all at the same time if they're not all in one space or under the same roof, collectively together every day, every night? One of these kids ain't getting picked up from school from Papa Paul. One of these kids, he may not be able to get to the dentist appointment at the expense of another kid because he has to be there for the kid who's in his household. And the child let's just say y'all live together, is going to be getting the equity of him.
Yes.
Because he's in the house, he's present. How do you think this makes other children feel? They may not be able to articulate it, but they do grow up feeling a little unwanted, even though Paul was trying his best. And I'm not even saying, because you got men who are they are giving everything they got to fatherhood. And they got multiple kids by multiple women.
And it's still tough.
Well, you can't put the blame on the dad. Like let's just speak on that because
Yeah, let's do that.
women divorce the men.
Yeah,
more
women
times than
file
men.
more than men.
So now
Yes.
if you're saying that the kids feel a certain way and we gonna take the criticism of it,
Yes.
well, look, my kids, I didn't divorce your mom.
Yeah.
So it has to be multiple conversations
100%.
as they get older and you try to explain stuff. And it's like, you can't say like, I didn't want to be around you or all that, or I have this new family or all of that. It's
Hold on.
like, you gotta
you can't say that? Oh, you can't tell. So hold on. We can't be honest with our kids now and say, look, baby, your mom divorced me and I have a new family. And I actually love spending time with you and my new family.
well, yeah, you can
Wouldn't that be the truth?
That is the truth.
Or is that the hard truth?
But this is
or
the
is
thing
that the
too.
hard
But
truth,
this is what you
Paul?
got to be careful with kids.
That's my point.
You
But see,
can't
but that's the
tell
hard
them
truth.
that. You
But
can't-
listen, you can remember, words don't teach, experience does. I don't mean to cut you off. I got to go there for a second. We can tell our child whatever we want to tell them. The experience that we give them is what they learn. You can tell a child every day, I love you, and don't spend no time with them. That child will grow up to feel unloved.
and let me say this. My dad has 6 kids, though. My dad has...
Like, she can't tell me
No,
something I
no.
can't
My
tell
dad
her.
has 6 children,
Oh my God,
6
Zara.
daughters.
We're tagging you in, Paul. We're tagging you
No,
in.
but my dad has 6 daughters. I just want to say this.
yeah.
My dad is a present, wealthy father. He has money, he has means, he's married to my mother.
Yeah.
He was married 2 times before and has 6 children.
Before you.
Before my mom.
Wow.
2 times. He has 6 children. I'm the youngest out of 6.
Wow.
My sister and myself, who are from my mother, who he's been married to the longest, got to see my dad the most. My other sisters have gripes where they're like, damn, I love my dad. He provided for us financially because he's rich. He did this. He came and saw us when he could and da-da-da-da. But I wasn't growing up in the household every day with my
Because
dad.
they wanted the true currency of life. You know what that currency is? Time. Time is a true currency of life. It's not green and you can't spend it. And you can't even describe time. You know why? Because it's that infinite.
Yeah.
It's that important. Paul, what were you going to say? Because I felt like you had
I don't
something
know.
heavy to say. Come on,
I don't
Paul.
know. I don't know.
We were talking about, no, because you were going somewhere good. You were saying that we can't just blame the father. We also have to look at the mother who is filing for divorce. No, you're going somewhere good because I wanted to talk about that piece because you're on point. And you were saying that when you have a conversation with the child, it can't always be daddy messed up, right? Daddy is the problem, right? You were going down that lane. But let me tell you why I love that you were going there because a lot of times, because kids,
she got in.
You love it so much, yet you interrupted his speaking. You loved it so much.
Sorry.
Paul, you were going somewhere
You
so
can't do
good
that.
because kids grow up when the divorce happens and dad leaves the house, right? And what happens is little boys end up resenting their mother because in a little boy's mind, yes they do. Yes, they do. They end up resenting the mom. You know why? Because in the little boy's mind, if mom would have done right, daddy would have wanted to be here. The only time that a little boy does not resent the mother is if he literally sees his father abusing his mother and he can rationalize why his mom would leave his father. If a child cannot rationalize why you would leave his mother, he has to, they're kids, they have no insight, Paul. They got to blame somebody. And if they don't blame you or mom, guess what they blame? Themselves. Now we're really in a self-hate crisis. Now we have a little kid that grows up and they feel shame because shame and guilt are different. Shame is I'm a bad person. Guilt is I did something wrong. So now we have a child that thinks I'm a bad person I wasn't good enough to keep mom and dad together. I wasn't good enough for my dad and mom to say, even if I stay for her or for him, we're going to keep this family together. So there's nothing I did that was good enough to make these two people who are supposed to love me and not drop me, not fumble this family. Kids end up in suicidal ideations over divorce. I have so many kids in my session, teenager, adolescent boys who are 16, who are like, I hate my father for cheating on my mom. I looked in my dad's phone, knew his password, and seen the text messages between him and this woman. And now I'm suicidal. And I want to plan to do it in the kitchen so my dad could find me. You know why? So my dad could see the pain that I felt when he ruined our family.
You know what's crazy?
Paul, that is deep.
Yeah, I understand that. That is super deep.
It is.
But like, this is the thing with kids. They're always gonna hear one side of the story when there's a divorce, right? Because they're gonna be in the house every day with the mom, and they can ask questions at any time, and the mom can say whatever. The dad is not there every day, and he can't explain his side because there's a side of the story and a dynamic in all of this to where the dad is always gonna look. Like the dad always get looks at as the bad guy, even though the dad didn't divorce, right? Which happens 90%.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
Well, women
But they
file
never-
more than men. You're right.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. But the kids never know the other side of the story because the men don't tell the kids the other side.
No, you know why? It's to what you just said. Because the man ain't in the house to tell his story. But let me backtrack. Hold on. Because see, when I decide at 42 to be a mother,
This is the year?
Yeah, it is. This
You
is it.
pregnant?
I was like, do we get an exclusive?
You said
No, I took my IUD out about a month ago so that I can be
Okay.
ready to do my thing.
Congrats.
I'm
I
very
What is
love
that,
that.
the eggs?
The IUD is like,
You took the eggs out?
No.
And freeze them?
no, the
not
IUD
that?
is a birth control method that you put inside of your vagina.
I wish I had a pillow. I would launch you right at your head.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know. I mean, I know.
The
I didn't-
eggs is crazy, but
Well,
no.
you freeze the eggs.
Yeah, you do that, but
I
that's not
didn't know
what
if that was
the
what it's called.
No,
I know.
The IUD is a little T that looks like this. It's smaller than this. It goes inside the woman's cervix to stop the sperm from fertilizing the egg. So it goes
You
inside.
took that out. You saying?
I had my doctor take it out so that I no longer have birth control contraceptive inside of me.
That's different. I never heard of that one.
Took it out so that I can
never
get pregnant
heard
now.
I never heard of that one.
I never had one, but it's a thing for sure.
No, I never heard of that one.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is at 42, when I get pregnant,
Which is this year?
right? Manifest it with me, Paul. I love you. When I get pregnant, at 42,
I'll remember this, right? I mean, if it happens, kudos to her, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
am not leaving my husband. Hold on. Because I'm making a commitment not just to him, but to these babies. That we will have two people in this house that can tell you their narrative, their story, and you can choose who you want to listen to. You can choose whose story you want to hear. But I want to make sure that I give you everything that I can. Which means if I have to sacrifice a little bit in that household to stay in it, if I got to have meetings with daddy to say, listen, we may not want to be here, but we made a commitment to be here. So what we got to do to make sure we healthy so that the family's healthy. But let me tell you why I say age is important in wisdom.
Mrs. Smith, exactly. That is the problem with this way of thinking. It is so dangerous for her health, let alone the child's health. And imagine this. This is the thing. She is most likely having a child with a man her age or maybe a bit older. We do constantly talk about how women pregnancy health, right? Egg health deteriorates. Men does too, right? Men's sperm health deteriorates as well. But what men do, right, as an alternative, is they date younger. Men date younger, right? Younger women, better eggs. This is the thing. That's why it helps offset the chance of bad pregnancies. This woman at 42 more than likely will have a child, if it happens, with a man her age or maybe a bit older. It's like you are taking your health and your child's health into your own hands with such a stupid decision. But
in my 20s and even in my 30s, I would have been in my feelings because emotions don't cause problems, feelings do. And I would have acted out of feeling and not commitment because commitment's not a feeling. It's you doing what you said you was going to do regardless of how you feel. At 42, I can commit. That's that obedience to my promised land. At 20, in my 20s and 30s, guess what? I'd have threw the whole motherfucking towel in and said, you know what? Me and them kids going to be good because I do well. I'm a doctor. I got to support a family and friends. Nigga, we can co-parent.
Come on.
But that's in your 20s and 30s. This is why I'm saying to a person like yourself and other people watching, men and women who have already made those decisions, and they end up being bad decisions, not mistakes. The kids are not mistakes, but bad decisions in the way that you happen to, create your kids, the dynamic you put them in. At 42, I understand the power of commitment and sacrifice. At 23, I understood the power of how I feel. That's the difference, Paul. At 23, we gonna tear this house up. We ain't tripping out these kids, we gonna tear this house up.
Facts.
And we figure it out later. You know we gonna do that. Call the police. Neighbors, I don't care. What you say? Shit. Come pick these kids up real quick. It's a problem.
Facts.
You know that. But at 42, we giving each other that look that goes, the kids is in this, we agree.
Yeah.
Hold on. Once we put Lil Paul to sleep at night, now what the fuck was you talking about?
Yeah.
Then we can have our little rounds, but we also are standing on a square that we both drew. That's called commitment. And we are not gonna guarantee each other no perfect marriage. We're not gonna guarantee that we even like each other sometimes. But what we are gonna commit to and guarantee, we ain't going no fucking where.
Well,
That's one thing that we're supposed to guarantee is that I don't know how life is gonna life, but can you promise to be in this life when it life's with me?
Damn.
And you can laugh if you want to, because he got a problem with vulnerability. See, you got a problem with commitment.
Everything I'm taking everything
Paul.
that you saying. I'm hearing it.
At 20 and 30, you end up in the situation you're in because people respond from what they feel, not from what they committed to. And if people would take their time getting a sense of self, discovering who the hell they are, so they can know who the heck they got to choose, they will end up in better situations, and so will their offsprings as well. And then we have the real wealth, which is family. And then we can go buy some damn real estate and take the vacations you talking about taking. But until then, we have to focus on the stuff that really is the nucleus, the backbone of the substance. And I'm gonna sip to that. See, he got commitment problems. He laughing and stuff.
No. You good. You real good. Because
you tell me why?
all right, so this is how I interpreted what you just said.
Okay.
So at 23, 30, y'all gonna tear the room up, argue, you out of there.
Both
whatever.
of us, not just me, everybody.
Yeah,
You know we do that.
so at 23 and 30, them options you had a lot more options. Now at 42, them options then slimmed up. So yeah, of course you ain't going nowhere.
That ain't it. Now you know what?
No, that's what you just said.
No, that's not what I said.
In
But
so many
that's not what I
words,
said.
she
But
said, I ain't going nowhere
That's
at
not what I
42.
said. But he's making a good point. For some people who get
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not easy. So I mean, like, she's not even, I don't know, she's not even married yet, and I believe she's barely in a relationship, might be in a situationship, and already saying like, oh, this year I'm gonna have a child. Okay.
of age,
Yeah. She
their
wanted to
options
put
can
up with
become
more.
can become slim. But I can say this: it's usually the man who gets up in age, and he realizes that his options have become slim. So now he wants to marry after he's already created broken homes, broken houses, baby mamas, had multiple kids. Hold on, and he don't got his contract no more. So the money looking a little funny. So he got to make sure that he cashes out while he can and get him the closest thing to what he considers a modern day baddie, who is nowhere in comparison to the old school baddies he used to be able to get when he was in his prime. Now for women who are educated, women who are still beautiful, women who are still keeping themselves
That's a good one.
up physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, they just get better with time. And they become a demand, not just only for older men, but for the younger men. And so
Such a stupid shit to say. Okay. First of all, you may be in demand with the younger men because for sex, not for commitment. Not for commitment. Not on average, not most women, okay? Most old women are not in demand for a relationship from younger men. Now, here's the thing where older women in demand with older men. Here's the thing. Not with high value or top tier older men. No, you're not. So it's absolutely, it's really just a stupid mentality to take. Really, it is.
the women who keep themselves up in that capacity actually become optioned, actually end up having more of abundance of options than they did when they were young. And there are also the women that the men who are their age, like my age, no, they can't obtain, let alone sustain. And so they will stay in their lane. They will stay in their lane because they understand, hold on, she was the woman I wanted when I was younger and couldn't obtain. I damn sure can't do it now that she has become cooked versus still meat that's marinated in the freezer. And that's the truth of it. And if women understood their value, right, as long as they just upkeep their value, right, which is internal and external, then they would stop opting out early on. They would realize, no, my options start to build and expand as I build and expand.
I agree.
And I think men as well.
Exactly.
I feel like if men understood.
This is a problem why I said listen to women is a detriment to other women. She's selling feminist delusion. You don't get better with age. educated grandma. Exactly. Mrs. Smith is right. You don't. Uh, it's like it's really it gets harder. And here's the thing: women don't get for women it gets harder to get the men that they want with age. Now I've said this before: if you're older, young, ugly, pretty, whatever, women will still have options. Women will always have options. The problem is you won't have the options of the men you want. So now you didn't settle, right, in your early 20s. Now you're settling in your 40s. Great.
Their value, then they would not be raw dogging. They would not be sharing their semen with just any women if they understood their value.
Come on.
Those are things that they would double think and triple think.
Yeah.
So, and another thing, I said, I was talking to a friend earlier and I said, the young guy that I was dating for 5 years off and on, I said he had no kids. He was young, very successful, in his field. I said, and what I loved most about him was he showed his responsibility, because in our intimate settings, I never, ever one time had to say, can you put a rubber on? Can you put on a contraceptive? I never had to say that, because in his mind, he didn't want to procreate before marriage. He didn't want to be raw dogging. He didn't want to, even though we might have had 4 or 5 years together and he was in love with me, he was being responsible. And that was a strong act of self-love. Because what he was saying is that, wait, it's not just you know your value, Shy, and you want me to cover up, not just because babies, but obviously STDs, but I know my value as a man. So you ain't got to ask me to cover up, because I'm not going in nothing raw. That is a man who loves himself. There's no man who loves himself and will allow himself to be at the highest risk of STDs when we have HIV and other diseases that are not curable, that are at an all-time high and always have been. That is a self-love deficit. And we have that a lot in our community. That is a problem. And I'm not going to call out bad decisions when it comes to things that dissipate and marginalize our community even more than it already is. Those are real conversations we need to have. Men need to know that their penis is just as valuable as a woman's private area.
Absolutely.
And they need to act as such. They need to act as such.
I agree with that. That's deep. I have a question. So when you are talking about, being committed, right? Like, so for instance, my parents been married for 50 years.
Wow.
My sister's been married for 30 years. So I come from a background of
Wait,
marriage.
you have no kids?
I have no children.
Okay.
I have 5 sisters. I'm the youngest, and all my sisters are married. They all have children. So I come from a family of marriage.
Yeah.
And my older sister always told me, she's like, her and her husband is successful, multimillionaires, successful, both
Nice.
very attractive. Same with my parents.
Nice.
And, my sister would always say, the difference between myself and my husband and everyone else is that we choose each other every day. That's the people ask me, how did you get this man to commit to you?
love
How
that.
did I get you to commit to me? It's because we made a conscious decision. And they got married at 23. So it wasn't out of any desperation to make a conscious
got
decision.
blessed. They got
They
blessed,
were
yeah.
blessed. But I ask that because I feel like people have some confusion where it's like, where is the line drawn though? Because I can say I'm gonna choose you every day, right? And you can choose me, but you could be cheating on me. Yeah. You can have this going on. You can do this. So when I make that commitment, even in older age or whatever the case may be, how can people decipher like, this is commitment, but this is where I should walk away?
I think anytime there's abuse,
Okay.
right, or the relationship is causing an impairment to where you can no longer function,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And the normancy of the house is starting to be to the point where, it's so dysfunctional. You have a broken family and people are just not able to come to a reasonable meeting point for the collective, then it is time to walk away.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I don't think it's time for people to see, because I love marriage. I am like so pro marriage and so pro love that when my clients come in my session talking about divorce, I say, listen, I got a question. Do we really want a divorce, or does this marriage just need to be reshaped? Can we just reprogram it? Can we reshape it? Because everything doesn't need to be divorced and broken and split.
Damn.
Can I ask you something? You talk to married couples, you talk to people in relationships, and you hear the dysfunction in all of it. Why do you want to get married and have kids now?
Paul, I love you for that. I know you're serious, because that's a good question. No, because,
Because you hear negative all day.
Right.
And why?
That's a real question.
and
That's
it's
why
a
I told
great
you
question.
earlier. I'm
Yeah.
confused about myself.
Because I see people come in my office, and because I'm not a tell me more doctor, I'm not a thank you for your money, figure it out, just come back. No, we work in my sessions. We work. And because I see them come in my office so hopeless, so despaired, so broken, so hurt, so confused, so resentful toward each other, right? And then I see them go from that.
This is what you want.
I see them go from that with the right tools, with the right guidance, with the right support, learn how to love themselves how to get out of their own way, how to become healthier within themselves, how to identify the little boy and the little girl in them who is actually in that marriage and not the adult in them, and realize, I thought I just loved you, but I actually like you. Now that I know you past your trauma, now that I know you past the little girl in you who's abandoned and broken that I was in a relationship with. For the first time in 10 years, 15 years, I'm meeting the man in you. See, the little boy in you couldn't cover me, but the man in you can learn how. The little boy in you kept calling on me to be your mama, to atone for the things you didn't get from her. I'm here to be your woman. And every time I came mommy you mad at me. You resentful toward me.
Ooh, damn.
But I didn't do that. I'm just here to love you. You can cry on my shoulder, but I can't mommy you. So I had to tell my client, literally 2 days ago, I had to say, listen, the reason why you're saying this woman doesn't have the capacity to do the things that you want is because you want her to mommy you. You got two options, bro. You either go back and try to get it from where you didn't get it from. Good luck. Or you surrender and you realize I'm never gonna get it.
Yeah.
So I gotta heal that little boy in me and I gotta move forward without getting it. And I gotta figure out how I'm going to supply that for myself, Paul. Because
That's
I
the
told
thing
him
where
the reason why
I
this
meant
woman
this
doesn't have the
guy is
capacity-
like, I haven't seen this video, so I'm a little disappointed in it because there's really no pushback. It's disappointing. It's just
is
letting her
because
talk.
If she did, God knew she would enable that little boy in you. But her not having it is dissipating.
Come be your girlfriend, your wife, and leave you. Most black moms, as a black man growing up here, that's the purest form of love. So like
That's
Why-
the purest form of love
that I'm ever had.
if it
It's
was
from my
healthy.
mom.
But if it was dysfunctional, hold on, and slightly abusive, abuse is not just,
That's love too.
wait, abuse is love
Yeah,
too?
abuse is love. I like because I come from old school. My mom whooped me. That's called abuse, right?
No.
That's abuse.
Well, so I don't agree. Okay, I'm not a gentle parent. So I believe in
Yeah.
physical discipline, meaning spanking.
That's whooped.
And I call
That's
whoopings.
abuse.
No, it's not. So,
That's abuse.
So it's subjective. For some people, you're right, they do consider that abuse. For some folks like myself, well, I don't consider my ass whoopings I got abused. I don't know if you did. I wasn't an abused
I
child.
mean, how we interpret it today, that's abuse.
No, you have some parents. I'm a parent who has no problem with pow-powing on the hand, pow-pow, whooping ass. I'm not abusing my child. As the Bible says, an undisciplined child is an unloved child. I still feel loved at 42 because I got my ass whipped.
You said as a parent.
No, I'm saying as a parent. When
That's what you would do.
Yeah, what I would do, yes. And that's what I received.
Okay.
And because I see the results of myself,
Yeah.
right? I know that it worked. But my point of saying is that if a mother is abusive, and I love you saying that is the purest form of love that man has got, you're right. And if that man's purest form of love was at the hands of an abusive mother, then what kind of woman you think that man is choosing? I'm listening. No, that's a question.
I mean, that is a
what
question.
What kind of woman is he choosing? Let me go further. If that mother, right, didn't know how to love her son, but she gave her all, but there was a huge love deficit. Hold on. He's choosing a woman who's what? Emotionally unavailable. So what happened was this young man chose a woman who he loves so much, but she's emotionally unavailable. And when I asked him, well, your mom had to be emotionally unavailable and you want her to mommy you and give you what you didn't get, but this woman is not there to do that. And you're already saying she can't. So she can't conform ever enough to do that for you. You know what he did? He put his head down on my desk and he cried like a baby. The little boy in him just wept. And I had to tell the girl, but you didn't feel that anywhere else. So now you're promiscuous and you have no agency over your body because for you, that's the only way that you're fed. We got to look at those things. So for a man or even a woman, yes, you're right. Women should be nurturing and loving and submitting to their man. Absolutely. But the way we love y'all is different than the way we would mommy our sons. It shows up different. It shows up different. And the beauty of it is you and your wife have no limit on your debt. But your wife and her son do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And so the depth that you can have with this woman, if she can be your woman and not your mama, is unlimited. But when she goes into mama mode, there's automatic limits and barriers that come in that fuck up the relationship. Because a mother and son relationship is unconditional love, but there's limits. There's boundaries to keep that relationship healthy.
Yeah.
What's your situation right now?
What you mean situation?
Like,
Happy?
you got a man?
I'm dating. I'm single, but I'm dating.
Single but dating?
You're single, but dating. And yet you have the idea that you will have a child this year. That makes sense. Single, but dating.
I am
Something serious
dating.
more than other?
No, just dating.
We gotta change because she's therapying us.
Yeah.
We gotta make this about her now.
You're right. You kind of therapizing us.
So I was like, I want my woman to mommy me.
Hold on, like, hold on, what's going on with you? This is about you. You done flipped the script on us. We over here.
Verse uno.
Man, you sure did.
But it was good. It was insightful.
No, we need to find out about what's going on with her. She dating, single.
dating.
What do that entail for a 42-year-old?
I am dating,
Dating but single.
enjoying my life. I have really good companions.
How many are you dating right now?
I'm not exclusively committed to anyone, but I have one guy that I have dated
she's
off and
stubborn.
on
Yeah, we
for
got
5
her.
years.
We got her.
We dated for
Yeah.
5 years off and
So
on.
you was
That's what God says, right? That's what God promotes. You dating a whole bunch of men. You dating on and off a man for years. Is that in the Bible? I think that's in the Bible, right? That's in the Bible. You're giving your body to a man that you're not really in a committed relationship with. Sounds like God to me. And then you have the entitlement to say, the audacity to say that you will have a kid this year. You're 42. You're in a situationship. Why the fuck would women why the fuck are people listening to you?
his work for 5 years? You been his work? You still his work?
Oh my gosh. Paul.
I know what's going on now. I'm about to, we're gonna take this sheep clothing off.
I am right. The wolf teeth going out. No, we
He
have
was somebody's work for 5 years.
we have been each other's companion for 5 years, and yeah, I have spent the block for 5 years, and it's the truth. And
Yeah.
he doesn't like it. He's absolutely correct. He feels like I haven't provided.
Oh, your work.
We working together. We working together.
But you keeping him at bay, or is he keeping you at
He
bay?
wants a relationship. He
And
wants to
you
be
don't.
committed.
You just like the sex.
No,
Oh,
Let's keep it 100. How you keep somebody for 5 years? That's like for real. You can't keep nobody at a distance for 5 years. I ain't never done no shit like
I
that.
am not vitamin D deficient,
No,
so
no, don't try
everything
to
is
show.
good
No,
in that
no,
department.
No. He
wants
has
a
kept him at bay. She
relationship.
done kept him on the side until she figured out if it's something better. I see where this is going.
He just has some emotional maturity that he had to do. We're 9 years apart. He's 9 years younger than me, and so we
9 years younger than her. It's like fucking. Okay. I mean, that shows you his, it's absolutely ridiculous.
we both had to work through things, but he's had to work on his emotions and his intense insecurities around being in a
And
relationship.
you've been waiting on it. Like what's the problem? Why y'all not together?
Just because of that,
So you waiting on that.
No, I'm not waiting on it, and I don't have him waiting.
So the D is good.
oh,
Let's keep it. I mean, that's what it's like, dude. Let's
He
keep
put
it
on
100.
his red pajamas and feel like he's supposed to get spicy
This
tonight.
is clear. This is clear.
Oh, my
I know her.
God.
She's from Long Beach.
I'm
don't try to
crying.
come
You
with
have a problem.
the suit jacket,
You know
the
what I'm
boots. You
saying?
still and the glow.
You know what I mean?
You still from Long
You
Beach.
know, I'm still-
Not from Inglewood. I can see that.
I am from San Pedro, a small
Man,
community
nah,
in the
same
city of
thing.
Los Angeles.
I can see
Okay.
through all of that.
Yes, he has great qualities. He does well in all that he does with me. He just
That ain't
emotionally
what I asked you. I asked you about his job and all that.
he does well in all areas.
What's
okay. She
going on?
answered that. He
No,
does
she
well in
did.
all
Emotionally,
Well, I don't know. That's a broad question. What all
Paul,
areas?
you're a man, so you answer this question.
I answered.
Emotionally, he goes back and forth from I love you, I want to be with you, I'm mad because you won't be with me, you won't commit to me. And then his insecurities get the best of him. And it's like, I want you, but I'm not sure if I deserve you. I'm not sure that I can facilitate you. I'm not sure that I can be with you. So when I say emotionally instability, it's like him wanting to be with me is concrete. That's not unstable. His emotions in the relationship are just unstable to where as a man, you gotta get vertical within yourself before you can be in a relationship.
you good with these
And
words.
I am.
You good with these words.
Listen,
because
but
you
let me
giving
say
all
this.
these people advice.
Let me say this,
Wow,
Paul. He has every right to feel like what I've been doing as far as being in a relationship with him when I want to and is not something that gives him stability. However, I don't want to commit to a relationship with a man who I feel emotionally is not in a place of being able to be in a healthy relationship.
So why are you messing with him? Why are you playing mental games with him?
I'm not playing mental
That's
games with him.
mental games.
It's not mental games.
Why
It's
you
all
still-
transparency.
Why is it still sex involved?
How do you
Why
know
is
we
it-
sexing? We could just be having a
Because you from Long Beach, I know.
Oh my God.
You can't play me.
We
I'm
could
from
not be
I'm
doing
from the
the
wood.
do.
I know what's going on.
But let me say this: it is transparent. He understands. I understand. I understand what he wants. He understands why I don't want to commit at this moment with him.
Sounds like a weak man. In my personal opinion, sounds like a weak man. Sounds like it's either sounds like a weak man or sounds like a player. I mean, sometimes I find it funny when it comes to the players. If you take a step back and just view it, either sounds like a weak man or it sounds like a player. He is like he's a weak man. He can't get no one. He can't get a woman that's I don't know, of any kind of level that's worth his time. He can't get anyone, or he wants to keep this woman around to be able to have fun with her still. So he's doing all this to either keep her around so he can still have fun with her and he still deal with her. So that's why I said it's either he's a weak man or he's a player. It's just weird. Yeah, women will just like wasting time. And it's just like, you're 42. This is the thing where this is why I said in the beginning, this is why, honestly, a lot of women lack wisdom. You're 42. How is this dating with purpose? How is this dating with purpose? You're dealing with a man that, honestly, you can't have a relationship with. This is why I said why the men that women are attracted to or attract is a red flag. She's dealing with a man that she can't get or see a stable relationship that she wants out of it. Yet she's still dealing with that man. She can't get she can't get a relationship from any other men. And yet you're thinking about having a kid this year. You have nothing concrete. You have nothing stable, and yet you want a kid this year. So what? You're going to be a baby mama. How are you going to get married within this year, then have a kid within this year? And then what man are you dealing with? So you're going to get to know a man within this year, marry that man within this year, have a kid with that man in this year. That's a recipe for divorce. Absolutely. How is this a therapist?
Which is the emotional piece that him and I talk about openly. I support him in it. I hold space for him in it. We've talked about it intensively, and he understands it. And he's
Come here.
That's
Sit. All right, let him off the leash. Go ahead.
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh,
Right. Come
shit.
here.
Well, you
Sit.
know what? If that's what I'm
Man,
doing, I'll say this, and people gonna be mad. And I'm okay. If I'm doing what Paul said,
Come here.
I'd much rather be the one walking you at the dog park than the one on the leash. If that's true.
That's
So
exactly.
that means, to my point, at 42, I'm not opt out.
Rocky Rob.
We are not opt out. Okay, we have options, and we are not.
What options? You have options of men that you don't want. At 42. You have options of men that you don't want. You have options of men that you don't want an actual relationship with. What options is that? Oh, it's like this is the insanity of women. Only women can have options of men that they can't see a future with, that they can't have a relationship with. That's women. Women think that, I have options of men that I can sleep with, and these are my options. What the fuck is that? You're 42. And this is why, I'm sorry, don't listen to women. Or else you're going to be 42, right? Wishing you have a kid, no relationships, a bunch of situationships, and then thinking that, at 42, you have so much options. This is the problem. This is why we see on Kendra G, I do all these Kendra G reaction videos. You see older women thinking that they're the shit. Thinking that, you know what, they have so many men out there. That is the fucking problem. At 42, you think you have options? How can you have options when all these men, okay, that you're messing with, you don't see a relationship with? You don't see a relationship. There's no options. Yeah, Alexander. Exactly. 8 years from 50 and talking like this. Madam, you're 20 years too late to be acting like a fool, such a fool. Exactly. She's 42, thinking like she's 22, thinking like she's 32. Stop it with that bullshit. This is why you don't listen to women. Right? It's like, If you want to be 42, thinking that you have a bunch of options, right? Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely
On the
ridiculous.
leash. We can actually be the one holding the leash. It's all about your standards. It's all about you understanding who you are and you standing in and on your square and you doubling down on that. Period. There's men out there who will show up in any capacity we want. We don't have to settle, and we don't have to settle at a certain time.
There are men out there that will come at any capacity you want. You're 42, you pick none of those men. You're 42 and you've picked none of those men. So okay, here's the thing: all these options you have, you are going to just pick one at 42, so you can get married to him because the word of God, right? You are a godly woman. At 42, you're gonna pick that man, get in a relationship with him, get married with him, have a kid with him at 42, under a year. You're gonna do all that shit in under a year. How the fuck are you a therapist? That is unhealthy. That is idiotic. Absolutely ridiculous. Exactly. Like Mrs. Smith said, like I always said, it should be illegal for them to give relationship advice. No fucking duh. Facts. Because shit like this is illogical. It is purely based on stupid emotions.
We can do what we want. Because I tell you one thing I'm not doing. I ain't doing time, but I ain't spending a whole lot of time with who I want, when I want, and both of us are enjoying it, getting what we want.
Come on.
I can't be just
What, sex? At 42, that's what you like. What? It's like you're not getting a relationship out of it. You're not getting commitment out of it. You're not getting marriage out of it. You're not getting kids out of it. What are you getting? Sex. Okay, great, fun time. You're 42. You're not 22. Right? It's like absolutely. This is the problem with so many women. So many women live life like they're always 22. Right? They live in the mindset that they're always 22. And that is the stupidity. That is the stupidity, right? That is the irrationality.
taking too long when y'all cook. Y'all gotta start making some decisions around here. Y'all gotta start making some final decisions. This is the final round of Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Shoot, you
So
gotta
who
start
knows?
making some
Maybe
decisions
the
around
end
here.
of this year it'll be
Let me ask you
child.
something, because this is always, and I ain't asked this yet. What percentage is sex in a relationship?
You mean based on studies or me?
No. I'm asking you, and I'm asking you.
Oh, okay.
Like, all right, what percentage of the relationship, like, because this is the thing, you could be with somebody like you know he'll die for you. He just everything. Like you trust everything that he'll stand in front of the bullet for you.
Yeah.
All of that. You'll trust that this man will be by your dying bed. I'm talking about like thick and thin. But the moment he step out on that end of it, it's over.
Well, you know, I'm a Jesus girl. The Bible says there's two permissible.
Alexander, 100%. This is what lack of wisdom looks like. I've seen how 40 plus looks like for beautiful women. It is so, it's so rough. She has no idea what's coming. Love the channel, my man. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. This is a thing where, honestly, this is the problem with women. I've said this before. No matter if a woman is older, younger, pretty, ugly, fat, skinny, whatever, women will always have options. I will always say women will have options. The problem is you will have your options for the men you do want. All right, the option for men that you do want will shrink, will get harder. It will get harder to attract them. It will get harder to keep them. Okay. Because the man that you want, guess what? A younger woman wants him. A better woman wants him. So really, it gets harder for you to attract him and keep him. This mentality of women like this, she is forever going to be in situationships. Because honestly, for her to settle down with the men that she do want, it is hard. It's an uphill battle. So the best she can do, right, is be happy with the situationships she gets from all these men. And she said she's dealing with a bunch of men. At 42, you're dealing with a bunch of situationships. And then you think that, oh, At the end of this year, I'm probably gonna have a kid. I'm probably getting married. All she's saying is she's having kids. Right? She's not saying she's getting married by the end of this year. Very, very holy of her. Such a Bible thumping woman she is. Right? She talks about I'm gonna have a kid by the end of this year, but she's not saying I'm gonna get married by the end of this year. Yeah. And then have the audacity to say I'm all this God shit. This is why women that talk about God is a fucking red flag. They are living hypocrisy.
Reasons for divorce. One is what you described, which is called infidelity, and the other one is unfaithfulness.
That's the same
Look up that
thing.
scripture.
Ain't that
So
the
what
same?
I'm saying is,
So what percentage is sex in a relationship then?
for me personally,
90?
because I'm not into casual sex. So a
No,
part
you're
of
in
how
the relationship. is
Yeah, I'm
what
into it.
saying.
What I'm saying is
Yeah.
because I'm not into casual sex, part of how I connect and express my love is also through the act of making love. And it's also through allowing my husband to use my body as a vessel for his satisfaction. See, a lot of women have a problem with that. And I'm not knocking them. They do. But what I'm saying is for me, but that's a love language for me. So for me, like, right, if my husband is saying, in the morning, I just want a quickie before I go to work. I don't take it as he's getting a quickie because he's using me, he doesn't love me. I take it as, oh my God, like I'm being used by my husband. He's
a
using my
vessel.
body as a vessel to satisfy him. So for me, I'm going, I want you to want me for a quickie, for a longie, for an in-betweenie, whatever it is, because now I'm feeling needed by you, loved by you, nurtured by you, and I'm being a vessel for you, right? So my thing is, if he's coming to me all day long, and I've had to tell a client this, if he's coming to me all day long, then that should never be a defining factor whether he cheats or not. That's a character flaw. However, I'm also not putting my husband in the position to feel like, wait a minute, I'm in a deficit because all I'm doing is trying to use my wife, who should be a vessel for me, and I don't even have access to that. So I'm an access woman. My husband accessing my body is also a love language for me. So the more that he accesses me and has his way with me, the more I'm in love and feeling loved by him. But I'm also not a fatherless girl. I've had a father in my life, not just present, but present, having conversations with me that men should be having with their daughters. When I first got engaged, he was very clear. Listen, don't deny him. If he's leaving to go somewhere, offer it up. Make sure that he knows that he has access to it. He said, unless it's abuse or something of that sort, submit. There's nothing wrong with that. And so I was told that by a man who loved me, right? Who never took advantage of me. So his word is bond. And when I've been in relationships, I've been engaged twice. That's one thing that I remember my fiance saying. He was like, one thing I got to say about you, Shy. He's like, no matter what we went through or disagreed with or argued about, he's like, you never denied me sex and you never played around with trying to puppet me with that. And it wasn't, again, because I want to keep him from cheating, because you can't control a motherfucker for doing what they going to do no matter what you do. Period. It's, I feel loved when you use me as a vessel. I feel like, I
love it. No, this is game. I'm here.
No, that's
this
real.
is game. I like this game you giving
I love
out.
that. And
right?
I feel the same
but
way.
But women
Yeah.
have to also, and to the women who don't have that mindset because they've either been sexually abused or they're fatherless little girls or they have other barriers, listen, that is okay. Like, you got to work through what you have going on. It's not a comparison.
I do like that part. I agree. That's a good part. But I mean, I would say this: no one's perfect. For her to say something that, okay, that sounds nice. Well, she has other qualities that honestly make her probably a terrible partner.
Thing. But when you get to a space where you feel safe and you look at, again, yourself as, I'm married to this man and him accessing me is really him using me as a feeding tank. I just think that is so beautiful that we are each other's feeding tank. And so it's always a feast available for you. And I do feel like if both men and women submitted sexually in all other ways, I say the feast is available for you. Because commitment's what? Not what I feel, is what I said I would do. And if I'm marrying you, by all means.
I also feel like that, like for me as a woman, if my man doesn't want me sexually, it makes me feel like inadequate. Like, well, is there something wrong? Like, are you attracted to me? Is there someone else that you're getting it from? Like, what's going on? So I personally it's like a compliment to me that my man wants to come and have sex with me no matter what time. Like, I've never been in a relationship and denied a man of sex. Like, it's just that's not something I do. I don't use my sex as a pawn and as a weapon. And I feel like a lot of women do that. And then, like you said, it leaves room for like, okay, I'm not getting what I want from home. And again, it's not in a way to be like, I don't want you to cheat, so I'm gonna have sex with you every minute. It's in a way of, like you said, I don't want people to misuse me, but use me as much as you can because that's what I'm here for. I want you to want me and I want you equally. And I feel like if I'm in love with this man, or even if there's times where like love is not always enough, but I know that I rock with you. I know we're connected. I view sex as a form of intimacy. You're inside of me. That's the closest we can be. So when I'm intimate with you, especially because men are different with expressing emotions. So for me, it's like if you're inside of me and I'm intimate with you and you're kissing me and I can feel you inside of me, like that makes me feel so close to you. And it makes me feel so loved by you that I'm just like at my highest, you know, like I feel like I could manifest at my highest when I'm in that space with my man. I always want you to feel like you can come to me. And like I said, I've been in relationships where if we stop having sex,
I do agree, right? I agree with Alexander, right? Her views on matrimonial intimacy is legit. I give her that much. That's why girls need fatherly advice. I agree.
look up like, damn, well, what's happening? Is it someone else? Are you not attracted to me? Like, what is going on? And that's a red flag in my mind. So.
And I love what you said, because I always tell folks, if I choose you, I trust you. But if I don't trust you, why am I choosing you?
Exactly.
So if I trust you, you can access me, right? That's even as a friend.
Yeah.
My best friends, I choose them. I trust them fully. They got full access. I'm accessing.
Exactly.
And really quick, I had clients come to me. They were both 30, and their biggest issue was, for him,
Yo, Alv, what's up, my brother? Yo, it's been a while. I miss you, my brother. We're cooking every night you're here. Any night you're here, we're cooking.
was denying him of sex. And he said to me, Doc, listen what he said, Paul. He said, Doc. And then her issue was he came to her and said he wanted polyamory.
Lord.
Right? So I'm trying to because I'm trying to unravel why he wants polyamory. They're 30. And I'm like, well, is that what you want? And she's like, hell no, I don't want it. And so he goes, look, Doc, man. He goes, I'm 30 years old and I'm masturbating more than I'm even getting sex. He goes, and I've never cheated on her. I love her. It's been 5 years. And I asked her, has he cheated? She
What
said,
you mean?
no.
Wait, 5 years what?
They've been together 5 years.
Okay.
And I said, has he ever cheated? She
I
said,
was about to say, what?
I know, right? Right now, Paul, what's
a
going
long
on?
time ago.
So, she said in 5 years she has no evidence that he's ever cheated. So we got to go with the fact this man is a good man. He's never cheated. And so he says, when I ask her, hey, I want some, she says no. And I asked her, I said, well, are you in pain? Is there something else going on? And she said no. And I said, how do you respond? And she says, I don't feel like it. But she's also wanting this man to marry her. She's also wanting this man to do different commitments. And she also was not okay with polyamory. So I said to her, why do you feel like you have a problem with him, right, using your body as a feeding station? She said, because I feel used. I don't feel loved in that moment. I feel used. I said, okay. I said, but you have a man who would rather masturbate than step out on you because that's how
Thank
much
you,
he
my
loves
brother.
you. But you still feel used.
Thank you, Alvi.
When he makes you his feeding station. I said, okay, but you don't want polyamory either. She says, no. I said, if it's abuse or if there's an impairment, for sure, say no. And you always have agency over your body. However, if this man is telling you that I want you as my feeding station, and you can't see that as being a vulnerability in him, a plus in him, a reward in him, then you're gonna have a problem. I said, and he's coming to you telling you I want polyamory because he's still trying not to cheat.
Damn.
And I told him, I said, listen, if you go into this marriage and we don't fix this, you will have a sexless marriage.
Damn.
You will. So what I'm saying is, what ended up happening is this young woman has daddy issues. And the fact that she doesn't feel valued by her father, she doesn't know how to receive love and value from this man.
Yeah.
So her trauma is eclipsing her from seeing this man is faithful, this man loves me, this man is intentional about me, this man wants to marry me, and he's into me.
Yeah.
Right? And so all I'm saying is there's all these barriers that people come up with. And, it isn't always the man's fault. You got men who are really in session doing the right thing. And a lot of times men are not as vocal with their women about the issues because good men don't want to hurt their women. So a lot of times they withdraw from saying, baby, you got daddy issues, or baby, this is not okay, or baby, I can't be masturbating he said I masturbate 3-4 times a day, Doc.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot. But they're also
He's
30
built up.
having sex only once a month.
Oh, that's crazy.
Right? And so you have all these barriers in relationships, but when you see people break through these things and you really see them get to the other side, it shows you the essence of love, and it shows you how doing the work works.
He's not black.
Who's not black?
He wasn't a black dude.
He was a great looking, good man, black man, and great couple. They're still together and they're working through it. Those type of stories are
Yeah,
very,
from the
very
hood.
enlightening.
He ain't from the hood. Something. That's got to be something.
So I got it. I love this. So you're saying a nigga gonna be a nigga.
Right.
Right. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I am saying
Nigga
that.
gonna be a nigga.
Yeah, so he is
So you're
something.
saying that she got a black man, not a nigga.
Right. 100%.
Because he's deciding to try every
Yeah,
angle.
niggas ain't taking that.
But see, this is where a lot of men get upset at. Because you have good men in those situations, right? With a woman who is not seeing the value in her man because she's eclipsed with her trauma and her daddy issues.
Yeah.
You get me? Hold on. Because if it was a different man, like you're saying, Paul,
he ain't
he would
playing
have
that.
ran the play he needed to run to make sure he was good.
No, that ain't
Hold
about
on.
cheating,
And
but
then-
he would have put the foot down.
But
Like,
watch
man, we
this.
ain't doing that.
But
We ain't
it's-
doing that in this house.
But
What you talking about?
as soon as she would have cried, I'm heartbroken because he cheated, it's to your point. The man is wrong. Without people hearing the context of what even happened
true.
Right.
and how
Yeah.
much work this man has put in.
Right.
So there's good men out there that women are not receptive to because their own barriers, issues, and traumas that y'all got to work through. You just do, because if you run into what me and Paul said, a nigga who gonna be a nigga,
Right.
you're gonna be in my session talking about, Doc, I'm brokenhearted. But when you have the good
Coming from a 42-year-old woman who are in a bunch of situationships, it's absolutely ridiculous. Saying that there's a bunch of good men out there, yet you're not in a relationship with any of them, but you're in a bunch of situationships with a bunch of men that you don't want relationships from, is absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. It's really stupid.
guy
Right.
who was sitting up there trying to make sure he did right by you, run every play,
Right.
you was turning the shoulder to him. That's a problem.
Damn, that's real.
That's a problem. And we got to be able to call women out too.
That's real.
Not just men. We got to call women out too and say, I told her,
Oh, that, you know what? Mr. Smith said it, like he's wasting his time with that woman. I've said this before, and I've experienced that, right? The no sex relationship shit, and I ain't gonna do that shit again. I'm like, no, that's a boundary that I'm never gonna let a woman cross again. I mean, like, I will break up. I will if it's like, if it gets to like once a month, no, I'm done with that. I'm good. So I mention that I'm not talking about sex, but men should not let anyone cross a boundary that they have. Have some self-respect, right? Stick with your boundaries, stick with your preferences, stick with your standards.
says, you got a good man. And she said, you know what? I got to work on my issues because I got a good man.
She's driving with her headlights off. That's how it is sometimes. And I do see a lot of women who want good men and then they have one right in front of them and they can't even recognize it. And it's like, damn. Like,
Because we see in others who we are, not who they are.
exactly.
That's it. This is why it's a
Exactly.
self-job. I'm only experiencing.
Beach. Both of y'all.
Boy, I'm gonna have men lined up with their little feeding pot.
I'm
They little
crying.
feeding station. Anybody? Feeding station.
I guess we can rap. You
Yeah.
know, we've been here a while, man. Doc, you've been amazing.
Yeah, you have.
You done-
Yeah.
I feel like
Exactly. This is the thing where I think it's because Alvy said, I heard about something like that. It's because they literally can't get over the bad boy, even if they have a good dude in their hand. Here's the thing. It is because they settled for the stable man. They settled for the man they weren't attracted to. Personal opinion, I think this is happening a lot, where women are deeming men that are stable, good men, good fathers, good husbands, so on, good men. Women deem they settle for him. They settle for them. They're not attracted to him, but he's a good option. He's a better option than the Pookies, the players, the bad boys, the Chads, the Tyrones, who she is attracted to. She settled for the good guy, but she's attracted to the Pookies. But because she's not attracted to the good guy, she can't get any sexual satisfaction from wanting to have sex with him. She doesn't have a desire to have sex with him because she's not attracted to him.
I got some good therapy today.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying?
therapized.
I grew today, actually. I learned a lot today. You know, I've always admired your work because I listen to you. I follow you, obviously.
I think that's about end. I really think that they should have pushed more back and forth with what she said. So I think the whole hosting part was pretty subpar in my personal opinion. I don't think it was that good. But I mean, there were a few moments where things she said was worth reacting to. So, you know, made the video okay. I didn't mind that. Exactly. Alvy said, being a green flag is a red flag party much. I agree. This is the problem where I honestly believe women desire red flags. Women desire red flags. So it is a sad reality. This is another reasoning why the nice guys finish last. Okay, why women constantly say they settle for the good guys because they want the bad boys, they want the pookies, they want the shitty men. They do, because those men are more exciting. They're more exciting, and that is the craziness of it. I don't know, but what do you guys think?